Good morning, everybody. We are meeting for the second day of Advanced Level 2025. So as you all know that last week, we start off this lecture series, and basically we did introduction. In the sense, I explained about myself to you all, and also we built some sort of a trust between myself and yourself, right? It's very important to start that kind of a lecturing program series, because this is not going to be end in 1 month of time or 1 year of time. This is basically more than 2 years lengthy process we have started. So without trust each other, I don't think it's easy for us to interact each other. Okay, if you don't trust me and if I don't trust you and all, then it's going to be a big problem. So that's why it's very important. Very first day we got to know who we are, and even started the subject as well, right? So advanced level examination, second day even I want to tell 2-3 words about the things and all which is required to know by everybody. This is 2 years program is a lengthy, as I told you. So thereby you need to have continuous attendance to the classes, right? So if you attend today and the other day if you don't attend, the combination will be collapsed, right? Because we have to have a continuous process of doing this, right? So today's topic or the lesson what I cover will be connected to the other day lesson, right? So that's why I'm advising you to be with us always from beginning to the end, and continuous attendance is very much required for this thing. And this is not just me covering the syllabus, this is a very much practical subject, and you will have to have your end result or the output at the end of the second year. In case of advanced level means you need to anyhow get admitted to a university, right? So therefore you need to have what the required Z score. So thereby you need to follow continuously. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, you don't want mere 75. You have to go maybe up to 100 or close to 100. Then only your set score will be very high, and easily you will be able to enter into the program, the university programs, the university degrees. And another thing is, this subject is very much usable subject everywhere, even in your practical, your day-to-day life, right? Lot of lessons which are taught here are very much important for you in that aspect as well. In your future career, maybe sometimes in future you will be joining with some other programs, professional education, and so on and so on. Even by that time, even the basic that you are learning from me in this way will be very much useful for you all, right? So that's why I'm telling your dedication, your commitment is very much required for this, right? Okay. So as you usually, we are meeting every Sunday morning from 8 to 10:30, 2.5 hours of time, continuous lecturing, right? And very first 2-3 days, I don't want to give you any handouts printed. That's my nature, as I told you. Everything you can listen to me and write. Listening and writing is really training for the exam. You are listening, you are writing, you are training. You are trained, right? Well to sit for the exam. Because most of the case students they are reluctant to write. They just want to read and then remember and do some other works. But here no excuse. You need to listen and write. Then you are writing at least one time, and then will be capitalized in your mindset as well, as I explained you last time. Maybe since third week of this lecture series, you will be getting sums for you to work out with me. I'll be working out on the board, and maybe I'll be allowing you to work also with me. I will give you some small time period for you to work out sums, and then I'll be evaluating your answers and all in that day itself. So that's the two-way process, and I have proved that I have done a lot, and I have done my duty well, and end of the day I can satisfy. Even I know with the results of the students, even I am satisfied with what they have brought to their lives, right? The good best results even last time, even that Iron First also because of that kind of a working, right? We started not like 8 o'clock since in the morning, early morning, I started last time classes. Because of my time constraints, I started 5 o'clock and we went up to 7:30. Every week, each week, and whenever required, we had a lot of extra classes as well. Okay, all these things are for you all because you all are newcomers to this class. So you should know the way of doing. And today, let me start now the usual lecture. Okay, if you draw your attention to the last week, I explained to you the real meaning, small definition about accounting, right? You got to know that that is happening in an accounting entity. Okay, monetary measurable transaction and events are recorded, classified, summarized, and there will be a results there output, their results there on, and that results will be analyzed. Analyzed in the sense what? The examination or something. So you analyze that, you come to a certain forecasting or maybe interpretation and so on and so on. So which will be lengthily discussed with you in future. So for the time being, that is small definition which was copied from the terminology comment report of USA, that is Certified Accountants of America. I think I have very clearly explained that one to you. And as a result of that small definition, I brought to your attention what are going to be accounting functions. And today too, sometimes I will be discussing with my accounting process lesson, right? And if I tell you something there, and basically we have what? Collecting of information, and then we are recording, classifying, analyzing. So before that, summarizing, analyzing, and forecasting. So those are the things known as accounting functions. And in the definition itself, we had something known as what? Accounting inputs. Those are going to be monetary measurable transactions and events, right? We have transaction and we have events as well. So those things will be explained to you today. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to discuss today, right? And then I already started off discussing the evaluation, or which is known as evolution of this subject, right? Evolution. So how this subject came into the existence and where we are now. So up to today's question, how this subject has gradually came into. So in that case, I told you that this subject was started with the Italian merchants of Italian merchants bookkeeping process. So it was started somewhere 14th century. Okay, they had a method of recording by and kata. If you read the history, you can see. But just after that, Bahikata process of Italian merchants, what happened the latter part of 14th century, Luca Fagioli, one of the Italian merchants, being the father of accounting, brought a very interesting system known as double entry system. So with the double entry, we have debit and credit instead of buy and kata. So that once debit and double entry came to the world, introduced to the world by the Luca Fagioli, be the father of accounting. You remember, it was the basis for this, right? So that was the great situation, great achievement for the evolution of the subject. So once double entry was introduced, okay, it was easier for them to record transactions and events in books of accounts, right? So that was the basis for this subject. Even today, if you open, you go home and when you are at home, I believe, so open your passbook. You ask from your parents, if you don't have for the time being, a passbook or a bank statement which came to you by the bank in relation to a current account, you just open and see. There are two columns very clearly. What columns? Debit column and credit column. So those are now going to be the things introduced by the father of accounting, in the 14th century latter part. So I'm telling you that is the very beginning of this subject, and very interesting to listen, right? You type Google and see, you will be able to see his name and all, more information, more details, but not required for me. I just want to tell you how it happened and all that, right? And now after this introduction of double entry system, what happened? The Industrial Revolution came into the existence, right? Once Industrial Revolution came into the existence in the world, okay, as a result of that, large-scale business organizations came into the existence, right? Okay, big organization like conglomerates today. conglomerates, big organizations, right? Maybe with a lot of subsidiaries and all that even. So anyhow, once large-scale business organizations came into the existence, right? They had to have a method of recording or keeping their transactions and events in their books of accounts, because huge. Even if you pay attention to your one-day transaction from morning to the evening, what you do is very difficult to remember. Now, yesterday's my transactions, right? I done morning to evening, difficult to remind now. Now, when I try in the morning to refresh and get, whatever, everything, but, important things only come in, but other things are impossible to take it out. So, therefore, I'm telling you now, frankly, it's difficult to remember all the transactions, millions of transactions per day, if you look at a bank and all. So, therefore, how to record? So, as a result of that, double-end system introduced by the Luca Facioli, it was a great chance for those organizations to record their transaction debates, right? So systematically, I'm telling the main point in nutshell, but in relation to that, a lot of systems are introduced, a lot of discussions were there. Okay, so likewise, gradually, little by little, something brought to a certain book. So like guys, little by little improvements are there, right? And now, once that was done, and then later, professional accounting bodies in the world were, established, right? For example, in Sri Lankan context, we have the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. CS Sri Lanka, right? So CS Sri Lanka is our professional accounting body. They have introduced a lot of accounting standards, which is comprised of LKSs and SLFRSs, right? Even some other directions are very clearly given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka for us to prepare and present finance statements, preparation and presentation of finance statements, right? So those things will be teaching to you end of the program, very close to examination, especially the accounting standards that they have introduced. But it doesn't mean that I am going to teach the standards at the end, but no. Time in case of teaching you the lessons, so I'll be taking you, okay, to that aspects as well. But remember, basically all the standards are taken together at the end of the day with a small handout. So I'm telling you frankly, okay, that's how things are going on and on, right? So basically, you remember now, when it comes to standards, accounting standards, for advanced level, I want to tell you that we need to cover LKS 1, LKS 2, LKS 7, LKS, let me say 8, LKS 10 we need to cover, and LKS 16, even LKS 37 I'll let cover. Then two SLFRSs basically for you, SLFRS 15 and SLFRS 16. So those are the basic standards that you are supposed to learn before the examinations, and I will be teaching you very nicely with small handouts whenever required with practical examples as well. So what I am telling you is that that's going to be the standards introduced by whom? By the professional accounting body in Sri Lankan context. That is going to be our professional accounting body. So when you work out some sort of the examination, when I teach you these subjects even, I have to always follow their standards, otherwise no marks for your LAT examination. Clear? So very terrible. So you need to learn these things in a proper way, otherwise no marks, right? Clear? And other thing is, when it comes to the CS Sri Lanka, okay, if you want to be a chartered accountant, right? So you need to follow the examination introduced by the CS Sri Lanka. It's my duty to explain you. So once you complete your academics, or once you complete your advanced level, you will be able to join with them, and you will have to, improve your develop your professional career as well. You can follow their lectures, and you can sit for exams, and you can be a qualified chartered accountant. So if you look at today's in the professions, both accounting and auditing, in both areas, who are going to be the top, going to be the qualified chartered accountants. So that's what I'm telling you. You need to follow that for your professional developments as well, right? So what we are talking about now, the evolution of this subject. So thereby I told you, professional accounting bodies were established in all over the world. So in Sri Lankan context, I got that example and explained to you. Then after that, what I can say you is for the evolution, we can see that technology, information technology has developed, drastically, even I think 1.5 decades, I believe, right? If you look at last 15 years or maybe 20 years, not that much far away we can't go, right? So you can see a lot of developments were taken place in relation to information technology. I think you are very clear with that information last time, my last topic. Information is very important for accounting. Without information, you can't work, right? So therefore, information technology in our word, the topic itself has the word information. So information technology development has done a great, a very important role, vital role for the development or evolution of this subject, right? So as a result of this development, they have introduced a lot of accounting packages. Maybe in packages, you only to press only one button, you will be getting what? You'll be getting trial balance or maybe getting bank reconciliation statements, so on and so on, which we are going to discuss in future, right? So technology has given that support, but merely because technology is there, if you don't have any idea of what is this and all that, how this is happening and all that, you will not be able to, be a very good accountant or very good in this profession, right? So you want to theory-wise, you study in advanced stream very well. You need to, you will be able to study this. Got the point? So merely because the system is there, to run the system, even you have to have a good understanding what is happening inside the system, right? Not technical wise, but theoretically whether the things are produced properly. Because in the system even, with terrible case you are garbage in, garbage out. If you enter garbage, what will happen? The garbage will be out from other side. So there was very important to know this subject, right? To make or to trust, the output or the things produced by the system. So that's why you need to learn this subject accounting well, right? So those are the important things that I want to highlight in the process of evolution, historical evolution of the subject. Those who are following this stream, commerce stream, especially accounting, they want to know the evolution very well. Otherwise, they will think this is a rocket science and all that. No, you need to know what happened from the beginning to the end. So that's very important to understand or retain the knowledge of this subject, right? And then I start off discussing so a few concepts in relation to this subject. The first one was what? Accounting entity. Accounting entities, I told you, are nothing but business organization where or which this subject is practically used. Let me repeat again. Accounting entities are going to be what? Business organizations which the subject of accounting is practically used, right? That is known as accounting entity. So I told you accounting entities are divided into 3 areas based on the ownership. Number one is what? Private sector owned business or accounting entities. In the government sector or state or public sector owned accounting entities, and we go to know cooperative sector accounting entities. Now, when it comes to private sector business organization or accounting entities, we have what? Sole trader businesses, and we have partnerships, right? And we have incorporated companies, and we have not-for-profit organizations, right? So those are the things, the organizations or accounting entities that we can bring under the category of private sector owned accounting entities, right? So these organizations, if you look at, they are following this subject. They are applying this subject of accounting for their accounting purposes, right? For their preparation and presentation of finance statements. Basically, when it comes to companies, that is a must. That is a compulsory thing, or in other words, which is known as statutory requirement. What requirement? Statutory. Statutory means what? Statute means what? Law requires. What is the statute here in Sri Lanka, which is going to be the democratic socialist republic of Sri Lanka? We have a constitution that is 1978. So that is going to be the main law of this country, that which has been amended so many times, like 21 times it has been amended. So therefore, that is going to be a main law. So under main law, we have Companies Act number 2007. So anyway, under Companies Act, that is a compulsory thing to prepare and present. I'm talking about the companies. Right. Now, likewise, we have to prepare and present finance statements, right? That is also known as what? Statutory requirement. All right. Now, So that is private sector things that will going to be your syllabus. In your syllabus, I am supposed to teach you what? Sole trader businesses, partnership, company accounting, and also not-for-profit organization. Those four areas are very, very important in your paper, right? So under financial accounting. And then let me move on to the other side, the public sector on business organizations, which is known as public sector accounting entities. There we have especially public corporations we have, public companies we have, and we have provincial councils, ministries, departments, and local authorities, which is comprised of municipal councils, urban councils, and Pradesh Sabhas, right? So if you visit tomorrow any of these organizations, you will be able to see that this subject is practically applied and practically used. Understand? Right. And then we came to third category, that is going to be cooperative sector. Even you would have seen a lot of cooperative societies everywhere in the country and each and every district. Even when you come to, if you can come to Bandarga, we have multi-purpose cooperative society of Bandarga multi-purpose cooperative society. Even they have gone until now, diversification of businesses. Now they have moved on to now they are going to be funeral directors also now at present. So even banking sector they are functioning. So therefore cooperative sector business organizations also they need to have this subject well, right? So that's why I have given that cooperative sector on business organizations also coming under accounting entities, which the subject is practically used. So I think I don't want to waste your time on this more and more. So it's very clear how the ownership comes with the introduction of capital. If private sector persons, if they have introduced money or resources to the business, that is private sector, right? If state sector, if introduce government introduction of capital, then we have public sector. Cooperative means a group of people, members, they get together, they form the fund and they create what? Corporate sector business organization or corporate sector accounting entities. So remember that's how these organizations are formed, right? Clear? Right. So those are not tested in my paper because will be tested in business studies paper. But this paper, what you want to know is to learn this subject, the environment is very important. Then having said that, I told it's very important to look at accounts branch as well. Accounts branch, accounts branch is a subset of accounting entity. Accounts branch is a subset of accounting entity. Now, and in accounts branch, what is happening? This subject is practically used by a group of persons. That's what the importance here, right? If you look at an accounting entity, we have marketing section, we have procurement section or purchasing department, we have sales department or whatever, we have welfare sector, we have finance sector, so on and so on we have. So you see finance sector, for accounting sector, we have a separate area reserved in an accounting entity which is known as accounts branch. All the accounting functions are carried out in that area. Clear? So therefore accounts branch, if you look at, right, we have a certain type of an organization structure. What do you mean by organized structure? How the post or the positions are organized from top to the bottom. So we have top chief accountant and the bottom we have what? Data entry operators. In between that we have assistant accountants, we have chief bookkeeper, we have bookkeepers, we have accounts clerk, data entry operators, so on and so on and so on, right? So those are the positions that we can see in an accounts branch from top to bottom. And I was explaining to you, and in addition to the top level, in the corner side, we have what? Auditor. Auditing and accounting is going to be together, always together, right? Okay. Therefore, auditing is what? Okay, finance statements prepared by chief accountant and the staff, okay, or finance director and the staff, whoever, whatever. And those, the accuracy is tested by or examined by the auditor. And auditor will give an opinion about this finance statement, whether finance statements are okay with the required accounting standards, concepts, bases, laws, rules, and regulations, so on and so on, so on and so on. So that's what the duty of an auditor. So auditor has been kept at the end or top and also in the side by auditor needs to be an independent person. So that's why we have kept the auditor somewhere corner at the top, because being at the top only, they can highlight the problems or the deficiency, weaknesses done by the chief accounting and the staff. So that's how the auditor is connected to this organized structure of an accounts branch. Then I told you, having said that accounts branch, I told you it's very important to know one thing, because even though qualified people have been occupied, employed in an accounts branch, and also even though if very, very sophisticated things are provided to an accounts branch, like accounting, softwares, maybe networks, other very sophisticated display units and all. Even furniture and fittings, all that is there, very, very nice, attractive environment in an accounts branch. But even though everything has been provided, even the human resources have been occupied or employed, but I don't think that they can work. They can go ahead with the accounting subject without something, which is known as what? Remember, information. Information. So that day, the last time, what I did was, on the board, I told you that what is meant by information and how information is classified and all. So when it comes to information, remember, right? Information I basically divided into two categories like this. If you can see the board, you can understand. Quantitative information, and also non-quantitative information. Non-quantitative information, right? Quantitative and non-quantitative I got last time. Now, what do you mean by non-quantitative? And before that, what is meant by information? IN means information. Information is something that creates what? Some sort of an idea or feeling about something is known as information. I told you that day even. Okay, that day it was a rainy day and today is a very hot day. I can say today is a very hot day. When I feel it very hot, you see a lot of sunshine, and even the environment is very much light, and now first firing and all that is coming, not like that day. Okay, and a little bit uncomfortable to people because of very strong sunshine and all. So that sort of ideas are coming. Okay, flow into our mind and all that. So that's why I told you, information generates what? Some sort of feelings and ideas, right? And information basically, if you divide into two, like quantitative here and non-quantitative here, non-quantitative means what? It gives a feeling or idea, but there's no any quantity nature. Quantity sense, quantity feeling is not there. If there's no quantity feeling, quantity sense, what happened? It's nothing to do with the accounting. It has nothing to do with the accounting. We don't want that information. So therefore, if I take this my red pen, okay, if I take this my red pen, what I can do is, I can put a cross mark here. Non-quantitative information is not relevant for this subject. Even we don't have nothing to do with that. Even I told you, last time I gave a set of information, right? I believe. Can you remember, a lot of complaints have been made by the villagers against the activities of some sort of ABC company or whatever I got. I can't remember. So therefore, when a lot of complaints have been made by the villagers, it has nothing to do with accounting. So therefore, I have removed it. And also coming under non-quantitative information. And one more thing, let's say in ABC company, employees are very clever, very kind, very kind. Kindness, how to measure the kindness? What you can do with kindness in case of accounting? It's nothing. So therefore, kindness has nothing to do with the accounting. So we remove that one also from the accounting. So non-quantitative information we don't want for this subject. So I have put a cross mark and because not applicable, not relevant. But coming to quantitative information, if you can recall, here I got two areas like this. One is accounting information, and I told you non-accounting information. Non-accounting information, accounting information, and non-accounting information, right? You got the point. Now, what is accounting and what is non-accounting? Accounting information refers to an information that has been measured in terms of cash. if anything, any information has been measured in terms of cash, that can be taken as what? Quantitative information. For example, I can say last year turnover of one company is 500,000. Possible to take, or 50 million. Measured in terms of cash, rupees 50 million. Even I can say now last year electricity bill of one of the companies is going to be like 400,000 rupees. Rupees 400,000. That means what? We are measured in terms of cash, which can be brought on the category of what? Accounting information. You got to know, right? Clear? And non-accounting information means, remember, now we can't. We have some quantitative information. Quantitative measure is there. Quantitative sense is there, but has not been measured in terms of cash. For example, let me say 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. Merely because 25 computers have been provided, it has a 25 quantity sense feeling, but has not been measured in terms of cash. You got the point. So that is known as what? Non-accounting information. So non-accounting information when you take, it is a quantitative information. So quantity is there. But the main thing is has not been measured in terms of cash. So understand please. So therefore here, example I brought to your attention last week also. Accounting, I told 25 or 30 whatever number of computers have been provided to the accounts branch. Right? And accounting very clear, rupee value is there. Now there was a past paper question in one of the years, I can't remember exactly about which year that it has been tested. It was tested, right? What is known as this non-accounting information can be removed. What? This non-accounting information can be removed from the subject of accounting, saying that non-accounting information is not important for the subject of accounting. So that was the question tested, right? So they are asking, as those are non-accounting information, will we be able to remove from the subject? That was tested. Then you have to say yes or no, and we have to explain it. Explain. That was the way that it was tested. So my opinion is, remember, non-accounting information cannot be removed from the subject, saying that that is not important for the subject of accounting. Why? Using non-accounting information, we will be able to generate what? Accounting information. How do I say so, and how it can be proved? Now let's say I told you, before 5 minutes of time, 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. When 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch, if you multiply this 25 by one computer, let me say one computer costing 300,000 rupees, assume one computer costing 300,000 rupees. If you multiply this 25 into 300,000, you get a rupee value, no? You get rupee value, some rupee value you get, no? That rupee value is as a result of what? That rupee value is as a result of what? Result of this, remember, multiplication of this non-accounting information with the rupee value, you get the total cost of computers, which is going to be what? An accounting information. So that's why we can't say that non-accounting information is not important for the subject, and therefore we need to consider we have to remove from the subject. We can't say. We have to say no, because using non-accounting information, we will be able to generate more accounting information. Another example I can bring to your attention, let me say, there are 1,000 employees working. One employee is paid rupees 40,000 bonus per year. Rupees 40,000 bonus per year, and you assume, and there are 1,000 employees. If you multiply this 1,000 by 40,000, you get the total rupee value, which is required for what? For the payment of what? Bonuses. To pay the bonus, what is going to be the total fund requirement? Or if you are paid the bonus, okay, how much you are paid for bonus, which is going to be what? Accounting information. So remember, please, non-accounting information you can't remove, saying that is not important for the subject of accounting. So we have to use that one to generate very, very important what? Accounting information. I believe it's very clear to you now why accounting information cannot be removed from the subject of accounting, saying that it is not important for the subject. We can't do that. Okay. Remember please, right? Okay. And I'm explaining what I did last week. And now, coming to accounting information, I told you that it is possible to divide again 3 areas, right? So number 1 is financial accounting information. You have written last time. So therefore, I'm using first letters, financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and what? Managerial accounting information. So accounting information we can basically divide into 3: financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and managerial accounting information, right? So that was the last area I was dealing with when I conclude my class for the last day. Now we can proceed from there from this point onwards, right? Okay. You can take down what? Small topic, subtopic. I'm going to explain about this thing. You are first time learning this, that's why. So you can take down subtopic and say non-accounting information, please. Non-accounting information. I am going to give a small note and the other important areas of that's each subtopic, right? We can say non-accounting information. Sorry, non-quantitative information. I'm sorry, non-quantitative information. You can say like this. This refers to the information that does not have any quantity sense, or any quantitative sense. Full stop and say, it has nothing to do with accounting. It has nothing to do with accounting. And therefore, can be neglected, from the subject of accounting. Can be neglected from the subject of accounting. Examples, can you write down the examples that I gave you last week? One, I believe, and you can take down these also, maybe differ from last time examples, but no problem. Okay, more similar to those examples. Number 1, you can say employees of ABC company. Let me say ABC company. Employees of ABC company are very kind. Employees of ABC company are very kind. Employees of ABC company are very kind. Second example, you can say, a lot of complaints have been made by the villagers. In relation to the activities. Of ABC Limited or of ABC company. Lot of complaints have been made by the villagers in relation to the activities of ABC Limited. So those 2 examples are very important under what? Non-quantitative information, and we can neglect those. Okay, not important. Saying that those things are not important for the subject of accounting. Can you write down another subtopic? We can say quantitative information. Quantitative information. Under that you can say, as you can say, this refers to the information, this refers to the information that gives, this refers to the information that gives a quantity feeling, or sense, quantity feeling or quantity sense. Listen to me and write, okay? Right. Full stop and say examples. Number one, you can say, just write down, please. Last year turnover of ABC company, was, or is, you can say, rupees 50 million. Last year turnover of ABC company is rupees 50 million. Rupees 50 million, you have to put RS, right? Million means what? 6 zeros, right? 50 million. And then you can say second one, 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. Right? Another example you can say, last year telephone bills amounted to rupees 400,000. Amounted to rupees 400,000. Another example you can write down, 1,500 employees, 1,500 employees are working in the ABC company. 1,500 employees are working in the ABC company. Right. Okay. Those are few examples for what? For quantitative information. Now we move on to another subtopic. There we can say accounting information. Accounting information. You can say under that, you can say this refers to the information. That has been measured. In terms of rupees. That has been measured in terms of rupees. Because I am talking about Sri Lankan context. If you go to America, maybe dollars. Not maybe dollars. Japan, yens. Okay. So therefore, whatever generally accepted currency, if we have used to measure it, that is known as what? Known as accounting information. So here accounting information, remember, once tested in your papers, okay, explain the meaning of accounting information. So accounting information refers to information that has been measured in terms of cash or rupee value. That's it. Okay. Example can write down. You can say last year turnover. Turnover means sales. Last year sales was rupees 50 million. In simply, you can write down example. No, last year sales rupees 50 million. And also you can say, last year electricity bills, no? Last year electricity expenditure was rupees 400,000. Electricity was rupees 400,000. I think you understand the real meaning of what? Accounting information, right? So let me move on to non-accounting information now. Then again, we will come back to accounting, right? You can write down, okay, a subtopic known as non-accounting information. Non-accounting information. Another time, you can write down this sentence. So you can say, this refers to the information that has been measured, that has not been measured in terms of cash. This refers to the information that has not been measured in terms of cash. That has not been measured in terms of cash. But having a quantity, sense. Sense means idea or feeling. Quantity sense. Okay. Having, right? Remember, please. I told you has not been measured in terms of cash, but having a quantity sense. Full stop and say examples. One example can say 25 computers have been provided to the accounts branch. That is one thing, one example. Another example you can say, what? There are 1,500 employees working. There are 1,500 employees are working. Or you can say just there are the 1,500 employees. That's it. You don't want to say working, then maybe the meaning is going to be a repetition. You are repeating that. You can say there are 1,500 employees. That's it. Or in ABC company, you can count if you want. So remember, please, those are two examples I brought to your attention in relation to what? Non-accounting information. Then go to another sentence and say, another new line and say, please, non-accounting information cannot be. I would like to emphasize that because one of the past papers tested already, non-accounting information cannot be removed from the subject of accounting, cannot be removed from the subject of accounting, saying that it is not important. Saying that it is not important. It is not important to the subject of accounting. Saying that it is not important to the subject of accounting. Listen carefully and write down. While writing, you have to listen and understand what I am telling. Okay. Those things are very important. You have to proceed with that method. Listening, you understand, and you are writing. So three things are happening at once. Right. Okay. And then coming to again this area, this non-accounting area. Okay. I can bring you small examples on the board to write down that place. Now I have told you that non-accounting information cannot be removed from the subject of accounting, saying that it is not important for the subject of accounting or subject of accounting. Not important, you can't say. You can't say not important. Example I can tell you, you can write down. Example, 25 computers you multiply with rupees 300,000. You can have rupee value here. You put your rupee value here, please. You can say what? 25 3 times 75, right? So you can have how many? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carefully multiply. So this is the total rupee value, 7.5 million rupees. Rupees 7.5. Rupees 7.5. 7,500,000 rupees worth of computers have been provided to the accounts branch. You got the point. With that, I have created what? An accounting information. That's why we can't say that is not important. Right? And even now you can have a second example. 1,000 employees. Better to say employees. Right? Multiplied by 4,000, 40,000, let me say. Rupees 40,000. Right? I told 1,000 employees into 40,000 rupees what? 4,000 rupees for bonuses per year. So you get so much, right? You get so much. You get the you multiply the value, total value, right? So if you separate 40 million rupees, 40 million, they have spent for this bonus payments, bonuses. Bonuses are nothing but you get the bonus means you get the work from employees without, I mean, you are making the payments to employees without getting the works. Okay, that's what the thing is known as what? Here, we are paying money to the employees without getting the work. Bonuses. You would have heard that for this Christmas. It's a very, very important area. You would have heard this. Bonuses are paid during Christmas. You got the point. So that's why I'm telling you, when it comes to this, this area in the sense now, non-accounting area, non-accounting information area, we can have accounting information after using that non-accounting information. So 1,000 employees into 1 employee, 40,000. You are getting 40 million total, which is required to make the payment for bonuses. Right. So now having written down these two examples, you can write down a small sentence there. You can say, how do you say? We can say, using, or you can say, using non-accounting information, comma, accounting information can be generated. Using non-accounting information, comma, accounting information can be generated as shown above. Can be generated as shown above. Right. So we have done up to now this point, no? Right. So now I would like to move on to again accounting information area. There I told you there are 3. Financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and managerial accounting information. So you can write down subtopic. What is going to be the subtopic here? You can say accounting information, right? Now accounting information, if you look at, that is what we are very first days you are going to learn. Accounting information is in relation to what? In relation to historical information. What is historical? In the financial accounting, we provide information in relation to the past, already gone. You will be experiencing with me in future, right? We are preparing statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st December 2023. Will be ended in few days of time, no? We are spending last few days of this 2023, no? December. So 24 will come. So we are saying what? Statement of profit and loss for the year ended 31st December 2023. So gone, already gone now. Year already gone. We are talking about 1 year already gone. Means historical information is there. So financial accounting always dealing with what? Historical information, remember please. Especially identifying what? Gross profit, net profit, even owner's equity, total assets, total debt capital, total equity capital, total non-current assets, total current assets. So all those information can be taken under what place? Financial accounting information. The very useful for the people or stakeholders or interested parties. I will be dealing with that in short while. So what I wanted to tell you is that, okay, financial accounting information is basically dealing with the history, okay, historical information, past information. Can write down 1 or 2 sentences because you'll be experiencing, then by that time you'll be learning all. Can say, this refers to the information. This refers to the information. This refers to information related to the past. Related to the past, which is known as historical information. Related to the past, which is known as what? Historical information. Historical information. Basically, such information can be seen, basically, very simple wording. Basically, such information, such means what? Financial accounting or accounting information. Financial accounting information. Such information can be seen in the financial statements. In financial statements can be seen in financial statements. In financial statements. In financial statements comprised of gross profit, net profit, owner's equity, total assets, non-current assets, debt capital, DEBT, debt capital, etc. etc. Lot of information. I did not explain about the financial statements, but I will be taking all. Basically, finance statements component is comprised of statement of comprehensive income, statement of financial position, statement of cash flow, statement of changes in equity, and notes the finance statements. So those things will be taken up in future, not now. Still, we are trying to get on to the subject. Get on to the subject. You see, a lot of things are to be taught very beginning. Maybe going to be some sort of boring type of a thing. But not boring if you are listening very carefully with the intention of learning this. Okay. So that intention important to keep it in your mindset. Then everything will be capitalized, no harm, automatically capitalized. And why don't you now look at the second one? Second one is what? Cost accounting information. You just write a small idea, that's it. Examiner will never asking from you, please define or what is the meaning of account financial. No. He has a lot of things to test, examine from you. Huge syllabus. So you're not dealing with small things, silly things like this. Not necessary even. Right. Because difficult to prepare a marking scheme also. People, students will write different answers. Okay, but even anybody if learn by heart can go and apply, then that's also okay. So what we are paying attention to very important areas where clever students are selected for universities. Second one, cost accounting information. So when we call cost accounting information, that is more towards future. Earlier one more towards, not more to 100% towards historical information, but here towards future. That means that there we are talking about production cost of a unit. So thereby we have to estimate the cost, estimated cost is identified. And then we set out the standard cost of a certain product, like let me say this whiteboard marker. We are setting out standard cost of whiteboard marker, how much of plastic which is required for that. Standards are set out. And maybe after some time, actual cost is recognized. Once production run is over, you have the actual production, right? Actual units you have. So in that way also we can have, we can say actual cost is recognized, identified, identification of actual cost. And then we can say identifying the variances. What is variances? I can say that is the difference between actual cost and the standard cost. Actual cost and the standard cost can be known as what? The difference variances. And thereby we are talking about the pricing. And also we are talking about the profitability. The subject which is discussed about those areas can be brought under what, please? Cost accounting information. So cost accounting always, decision making side is there. Or decision making means, cost calculation which is required for what? Decision making, cost calculations. Right? So in your syllabus, like I can say 25% weightage, I can give it to cost accounting. Right? Your syllabus. Now not like nowadays. Nowadays, before going to university, you are learning this cost accounting as well. So therefore, basically, we have to cover their actually material costing. First introduction about the cost and all that. Then material costing we have to cover, labor costing we have to cover, overhead costing we have to cover. Then we have to cover what? Investment appraisal, marginal costing. Those are the areas we are supposed to cover under this advanced level stream and advanced level syllabus in relation to cost accounting information. Okay. So basically, those things are taught very clearly to you. So I'll be taking all these sub areas very clearly in a simple manner, so simple manner in a practical way, enable you to sit for your examination without any hesitation. When you do the past papers after my lessons, my teaching, you will understand, right? With practical examples, I am teaching these subjects. Everybody can go for 100 marks for that area, right? If costing is given like 30 marks, you can go for 30 marks without any problem. Because up to that text, I am making everything simple as much as possible to capitalize in your mindsets. I hope you understand what I am talking about, right? So very clear things I am going to give you. That is what? That is cost accounting information I brought to your attention. So you can say, what to say, you can say, right, you can say. This refers to the information. This refers to information more towards future. This refers to the information more towards future. More towards future. Including cost estimating or estimation, comma, setting out standard cost, comma, identification of the actual cost, identification of actual cost, comma, identifying variances, comma, pricing, pricing. Of a certain product. Of a certain product. And of a certain product and discuss about the profitability. And discuss about the profitability. You can keep the full stop. So basically, a simple idea I gave you in relation to cost account. But there may be a lot of definitions everywhere in textbooks and all that. I should have copied and given, but I am not like that. I just wanted to give you the practical sense of this. To take this marker, still not produce. So you thought of producing a certain marker, whiteboard marker, and we have developed the estimates. We have set out the standard cost. So then after some time when you do the production, you'll be able to identify the actual cost. Thereby we talk about the variances. Then what will happen? We'll have to price it and all. Then having related to the market, then we are talking about the profitability aspects of that. Profitability. So the subject that talks about that whole thing is known as cost accounting. Cost accounting area. Right. And now can you write down the subtopic? Managerial accounting information. Now we have finished it off. Financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and now we are moving to what? Managerial accounting information. Now, what is managerial accounting information? Remember, please. You know, in an organization, managers are making decisions. Nobody else, managers. When managers are making decisions, you see, they need to have what? Proper, accurate information for them to make correct decisions. Otherwise, their decisions will be wrong and badly affected to the organization or business survival. And maybe we'll have to shut down very close. For example, you know, in my case also, if I don't have proper information to make my decisions, then going on my business. And if you look at a company, there we have board of directors. Remember, in company, all the decisions are made by board of directors. If board of directors are not making decisions properly based on the information provided, company will have to be wound up very, very quickly. Winding up the company winding up. So, to that not to happen, what to do is we have to provide accurate information. So what I'm going to tell you is that information which are required by the managers to make their decisions can be known as what? Managerial accounting information. So managers, they can't make decisions without such accounting information. So you need to bring correct information about financial information, bring some cost accounting information also, maybe sometimes profitability analysis and all that, maybe ratio analysis and all that. So a lot of information required by the managers. So if you provide, those are known as managerial accounting information. So what I want to tell you is that, right, even though we tried our level best so far to keep them separately, these are financial, these are managerial, these are cost accounting information. However much I tried my level best to keep them separately, it is difficult. It is difficult. That means among these information, there is a what? Mutual relationship. Remember what? Mutual relationship. So we have a mutual relationship between all. Right? What is mutual, you know? If you look at this is financial accounting information, right? If you take this circle, which is comprised of cost accounting information, CAI, and if this is going to be what? Managerial accounting information, MAI, FAI-CAI-MAI, if you take this is what mutual relationship. If you try to keep them separately, no. Maybe some information, here, if you look at. Okay, maybe that information is in a way financial accounting information. On the other hand, cost accounting information. On the other hand, it is required for managers to make decisions, manage accounting information. So therefore, there is a mutual relationship, unbreakable mutual relationship between financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and what? Managerial accounting information. Remember, please. So we can't say these are managerial, these are cost account, these are financial. Okay, in a what? In a clear way or clear cuts we can't identify. So that means there is a what? Mutual relationship, right? So you can draw these three. Okay, you can draw this picture, and you can draw this picture and say, there is a mutual relationship. There is a mutual relationship. There is a mutual relationship between financial accounting information, cost accounting information, and managerial accounting information, which is going to be inseparable. You can keep a poster, right? We can't separate saying that these are financial, these are cost accounting, these are managerial, because there is a inseparable relationship between all these. What the point? Financial accounting, cost accounting, and managerial accounting information. So having said that, let me move on to another important area. Why this accounting process or accounting, the subject what we are talking about since last week, we have been talking about why we are generating information is very much important. Why we need to generate such information from this accounting system or accounting from this subject as a result of this subject. Why we are so much of trying to do this? The thing is, there are interested parties over this information. Remember, got the point? For example, let me move on to financial accounting because this subject is financial accounting. Cost accounting will be taken up later. Managerial accounting will be taken up later. So if you look at financial accounting information, why we are producing so much, like gross profit, as I told you, net profit, like total equity, like total net assets, total debt capital, total assets, so on and so on. A lot of financial accounting information we are generating. Why we are generating? Because there are interested parties. So now I am moving to what? Interested parties in relation to financial accounting. So we can have a subtopic right down there, please. Interested parties. Interested parties. Right? Interested parties are there. Right. So we are going to identify who are the parties they are very keen on this financial accounting information. Basically, remember, when it comes to this financial accounting information, the parties or the group that can divide into two parts, basically, direct group, or we can say direct parties. Direct group or direct parties. Then I can say indirect group, or I can say indirect parties, whatever it is convenient to you. Direct parties, indirect parties, direct group, indirect group, whatever it is correct. Now, under direct group, you see, remember, always we are taking like this. Okay, owners. The first party is going to be owners. Though I can remember one of the exams tested. Okay, please explain the interested parties of a financial accounting information and the advantage that they have. Okay. So that kind of a question was tested in past papers. If you can draw your attention to those papers, right? So there, what we wanted to do was there we have to separate the sheet into two. Here, first column we can have the group like this, direct group and indirect group like this. And the other side we can say what? Interest or advantage. Advantage. What kind of advantage that they have, right? So that was the requirement of the examiner. So therefore, let me develop this this presentation into two like this. Here I can have the direct groups like direct group and indirect group, and here I can say advantage. So your book also you can arrange this way, right? I can say direct group, then advantage, indirect group, then advantage, because this was tested and you don't want to provide a lengthy answer like paragraphs and paragraphs, not necessary. We want to have a very clear answers to the examiner in order to get the marks, right? So therefore, remember here, owners, what the advantage for them? Okay. Owner has invested capital or resources into the business. What the main objective of advantage to owners, to the owners, are going to be what? To see whether there is a profit or loss. That's it. With the financial results, financial statements, the owners are very keen on this, whether he has made a profit or loss during that period. If a sole trader is only a single man is looking at, if the partnership more than 2 persons are looking at, maybe 3 partners, 5 partners, 6 partners, can go up to 20. In corporate company even so many shareholders, maybe thousands of shareholders are looking at the profit. So therefore I'm telling you, interested party, the first party is going to be the owners. Their main target is profit or loss. So we can say, can be identified net profit or net loss. Can be identified net profit. That is the advantage that they have from the financial account information. They can see either net profit or net loss. So in front of owner, you can say to see the net profit or net loss. That's it. We don't want to provide the lengthy answers, right? Okay, right. So you can say can recognize net profit or net loss, or you can say can be recognized in participle whatever you can write. Whatever passive or active way you write down, no problem. Okay. Then if you look at the other party, we can say second party loan providers. Write down. So first party owner, second party loan provider. You can go ahead with me. Loan providers. When you call loan providers, what is the advantage that they get is whether their loans are secured or not. And other than whether it's possible to recover the loan provided already. Let's say there's a business, there are continuous losses. When there are continuous losses, can you expect that your loan that has been already provided is secured? No. Even you will not be able to recover even. That risk is there. So therefore, loan providers especially looking at this financial accounting information for what purpose? There we can say, okay, to identify the safety of the loan provider and also to approve new loans. So that advantage they get with financial accounting information. Or at least you can say here, whether the loans provided are secured and also can be recovered. So that's the advantage that they are getting by looking at financial information, accounting information. Whether the loans provided are secured or whether to recover. Whether it is possible to recover. That sort of an idea you can provide in front of the advantage. Your English, you are better than me in case of English. So you have to say the loans provided are secured, okay, to identify whether the loans provided are secured or whether it is possible to recover. Secured and recoverability, both, right? The third direct party we can say actually government. Government. What is government? Government has to do with this accounting information. You can say to collect taxes, that's it. You can say to collect taxes. It's very clear these days, not to collect what? Taxes. Taxes, right now. These are very keen on this. Government, they are always looking at whether the businesses are making profit, because the government will be able to recover the taxes, or can be collect the taxes, or taxes can be collected by the government. On behalf of the government, who does it? The Inland Revenue Department, IRD, Inland Revenue Department. So Inland Revenue Department, they are very keen on the profit earned by businesses or accounting entities. Their main purpose is to recover taxes. I hope you understand. So that's why that's important, though we can say to collect taxes. Government, the party, the group, to collect taxes. Now, another direct party is going to be, remember, managers. Don't forget the managers, no? So managers are making decisions in an organization. So therefore, another party which is going to be very much interested about this financial accounting information is going to be the managers. But the advantage they are getting is, you can say, it will be able to, you can say, can be made correct decisions, with the use of financial accounting. That's a different story. You write simple answer, can be made correct decision. The advantage that they can have by looking at by using financial accounting information. What I was telling to I was trying to tell you, it was that why this financial accounting information is very much important to an organization. Why businesses are generated so much of information? Because there are interested parties. So one party is direct party, the other parties are going to be indirect parties. Under direct group or indirect party, we got first one owners, second one loan providers, third one government, fourth one managers. So I have given you in nutshell in form what are going to be the advantages for them. You also can think and write, right? Now you are not ordinary level students, you are what? Advanced level students. So what thinking is required? Advanced thinking is required. Don't be a parrot now. Okay, learning by heart and vomiting all level you have done and go through with flying colors. That's why you are here with me today, no? So remember, advanced level you require not that kind of a capacity, advanced capacity, advanced thinking. You have developed your advanced thinking pattern. Right, not like O level, ordinary level, right? They are ordinary thinking, here advanced thinking, right? Good. So come back to this direct group again, number 5. We can say what? Employees and customers. So I can take employees and customers also as a direct party. Employees are very keen on the profit dollars, right? They need to ask for salary increments and also bonuses, like. Anyway, employment benefits are looked at by the employees. So they are always looking whether the company is making more profit. If more profits are made by the company, they are very happy. They can ask for their employment or salary demands and all. Even nowadays, they can have a bonus for Christmas. 25th will be tomorrow, no? Tomorrow Christmas, so if they have more bonuses, they can enjoy a lot tomorrow. This period, right? So that's why we consider employees as a direct party. Even the customers, no? Now, when you are going to be customers of ASPEC, you like to be this organization in a very profitable way for a very high standard level, because this is my organization where I get this accounting, business studies, and so on, the knowledge. Okay, this is what professional education center aspect. So therefore, now you all are happy to see that this organization is running well. Otherwise, you don't believe this, and even you don't have any trust building. If this is properly functioning in a proper way, they are happy to see. They're happy to see this organization. So even financial information of this organization. If this organization is making higher profits and developing day by day with the profit that the ASPEC is making, then okay, even I am proud to be a student of this ASPEC. So that's why even customers are also very keen on accounting information of that organization. Even would be to same now, you go to outside market and see now when we are going to buy a refrigerator, fridge, or a television or whatever, motor vehicle even, we are looking at a company which has more profits and all. Why? Because once I buy that good, when there are defects, I can go there and return and I can have a good one. Or I can go there and get repaired it. So for those purposes, we are looking at being customers. We are also very happy to see their financial accounting information. I hope you all are getting from me. So what I have been trying to tell you is that, right? As a direct party, as a direct group, we can get what? Employees and customers, both parties. Very clear. I believe you understand. So having said that, let me move on to this other group, that is indirect group. Indirect group, and the indirect group we can have so many. So here what you write down here, and the advantage here, the employee and customer can say, in order to demand for higher salary, comma, another one you can say more towards customer can say, other can say, to purchase a value added product. Value addition is there if they can, the customers can rely the business organization to have a value added product. I am talking about disadvantage, value added product or service. I am doing a service, not you. So you are looking at the aspect and you rely on that and all. Then you are always joining with us because to get a certain value to your side for the investment that you are making. So that's why I'm telling that way we have to think. Okay, so here you can say to demand salary increments and to purchase a value added product or service. So those are some of the advantages. So let me move on to this side now. Under indirect party, we can say so many. Accountants are looking at this financial accounting information. What? To prepare financial statement, write down this. Accountants and the party, here we can say advantage to prepare financial statement, that's it. To prepare financial statements, that's it. Okay. Here you can say accountants. Here we can say to prepare financial statements. I hope you are building your notes. You are writing your notes, listening and writing, understanding all. Okay, to prepare finance statement. That's it. Accountants, they know anything. They want to prepare the finance statements and produce it to the directors of the company, board directors, to enable them to produce it to the shareholders of the company at the annual general meeting. That's it. So therefore, to prepare finance statements, even the auditors, second party under the indirect group, auditors, 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 write down, accountant, auditors, second one. Write down please quickly, right? Auditors. But auditors' advantage you can see to audit, to carry out audit examinations, you can say. That word examination, please stay with there because you are not so familiar with this concept now. To carry out audit examinations. To give in order to give an opinion, in order to give an audit opinion, in order to give or express an audit opinion, in order to express an audit opinion, in order to express an audit opinion, in order to express an audit opinion. So that's what the advantage which has these auditors as far as financial accounting information is concerned. I hope you'll understand it. Third one, you can say lawyers. Lawyers, lawyers, each and every accounting entity, they have lawyers. What the advantage they are getting, you can say, to be used in legal requirements. To be used in legal requirements. Let's say lawyers are going to courts representing our business organization. So in the courts, they have to have information to make the arguments with the other party, other lawyers from the other party. So we can say, look here, judge, honorable judge, you see, this company has been making losses continuously. In such a situation, how a compensation or a higher bonus or a salary increments can be given to these employees? Now, employees has made a pile or sued against the company. There's a court case hearing now. So lawyers can go to the courts and say, look here, this company has been making losses continuously. In such a situation, how a profit or whatever bonus or any compensation can be made? It's impossible, my dear judge. So in such a way, they can argue in the court. So that's why I told you, lawyers are going to be indirect party, and also advantage, you can say, to be used in legal requirements. That's why they want to have this financial accounting information. Otherwise, lawyers have nothing to do with financial accounting if they don't have a legal application there, right? There's so many parts can be brought. So let me say one more. Here we can say financial organizations like banks and finance companies, so on and so on, like our leasing company. So many financial companies here. We have leasing also to be accounted. Later on, we'll take it up under SLFRS. And so such even banks. Banks are financial organizations. Okay. Is simply we can say financial organization. So there we can say, under here we can say, to approve loans. In order to approve new loans, they need to have what? Financial accounting information. Otherwise, they can't approve. And also, there we can say, even to recover loans provided. In order to approve new loans and to recover loans already provided. That's the advantage that we are getting by looking at the financial information. If the financial position is no sound, the loans can't be approved. No, loans are not approved. Understand? So therefore, here you can write down, can say, to approve the new loans and also recover the loans already provided. The advantage that you are getting by using that financial accounting information. Okay, but the party, financial organizations. Within bracket, you can say banks and other financial entities. Okay, leasing companies, so on and so on. Now, another party I can say actually enough, but number 5 and number 6 I can say teachers and students also. They are also very keen on this now. Myself and yourself. Coming to teachers, you not to teach the subject. Now, let's say I want to teach this subject now. No, now, not now today. Maybe in future, I will be bringing a lot of actual set of finance statements and I will show it to you. You got the point. I can bring but actual set of finance statements and show it to you. Okay, when I'm teaching you this subject. So that's why teachers are also very much interesting about this financial accounting information. And also, if you look at the students, what? For you, it's yourself. You need to study this subject, no? So to study this subject, to understand this subject matters and all the rest of financial accounting, you have to have financial accounting information. You understand? So that's why I'm trying to tell you, teachers and students also can be brought under what, please? Brought under this indirect group, this category. Clear? Okay, I think it is more than enough under interested parties. Why we are bothering about interested parties? Oh, sorry, financial accounting information, because there are so many interested parties over this accounting information. So those interested parties are divided into two, basically, direct group and indirect group. And direct group, we have what? We have owners, we have managers, we have loan providers, we have government, and we have customers and the employees. Remember the way that I am explaining to you. I don't have any printed notes in front of me or even to give it to you. No point. It's a job, right? You go to a library and see a lot of things are available. You can read. No, sit and read. But you are listening and understanding and writing. Very important. I am not missing any area. See the past papers in future, you will understand. Everything has been very properly explained to you and created and developed a not suitable, not for advanced level by yourself. For the working notes, some I can do this. I will provide you. Don't worry, I will share it with you. But the theory aspects, when theory is required, your applicable theory, you write. This is right. Okay, now coming to indirect part, we have accountants, we have auditors, we have lawyers, we have teachers, students, banks, other whatever you think and write, advanced thinking. An advantage, you are better than me in English, you write down simple sentence. Yeah, to see the profit or loss to owners, the advantage that you are getting. Loan providers to identify the security of the loans provided and to recover the loans provided. And the government getting what to collect the taxes, managers to make sound decisions, proper decision making process. They can use information, customers and employees, I told you, to demand for a high salary and also what? And also to buy or purchase a value-added product. So I'm just again repeating. Why? Repeating my repetition will give you a good practice, good understanding. And come in India by accountants to prepare their statements, to auditors to examine, to carry out audit examinations, to enable them to express an audit opinion. You are written down there. Lawyers for legal requirements, legal applications, and this financial banking to approve new loans and to recover loans provided. And last two, teachers for teaching purpose, students for learning purpose. Teaching purpose and learning purpose, right? So I think I have finished one of the past papers also, one of the paper question. Okay, but I did not give as a question. This was tested in one of the years, past papers. Who are the interested parties towards financial accounting information and the advantages that they have in relation to this financial accounting information? I believe I have well explained to you. Okay, good. Now my other concern is, you know now, accounting is generating what? Information, not two words. Very first day also, I explained to you. Now, information is generated, and you know without information, even the accountant and the staff can't work. And also there are some interested parties. That's why the accountant and staff, they generate accounting information, right? Because there are so many interested parties. Now, nobody will be accepting your accounting information if you don't maintain the proper qualities over there. You got the point. Proper qualities over there, you have to maintain. What is proper quality? That is known as characteristics of accounting information. I'll say right, subtopic, characteristics of accounting information. Characteristics of accounting information. What are the qualities that you are supposed to maintain in relation to accounting information, financial accounting information? That is the area that I am going to discuss now. Now, when it comes to qualities or the characteristics of accounting information, right? Number one, we can say completeness. Completeness. Don't write down. Number two, we can say accuracy. Right? Number three, we can say relevant. Number four, we can say provability. Number five, we can say comparability. So likewise, I have given you very important qualities. Not all, a lot of things are there. So it's very important when it comes to conceptual framework. The CS Sri Lanka, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, they have produced a separate document directions known as conceptual framework. That will be distributed to you, not now, so later, latter part of your program. Because that is a document that we need to read and understand, that's it. The entire preparation and all that is based on that document, finance statements, right? Don't worry. Now, they are very clearly explained all these things. But anyway, now for the time being, in order to understand why information is provided and why there are interested parties, we looked at. Now I am asking, okay, for them to believe or trust the accounting information generated from this subject, there should be some characteristics or the qualities which are protected, no? Otherwise, nobody will believe, no? Nobody will believe. So their number one is going to be completeness. Now you can write down the first one, completeness. I'll be taking one by one and explaining. Don't worry. Completeness. So what is completeness here? Always accounting information should provide complete meaning to the interested parties. Can I write down there? So hyphen and say, always the accounting information should provide a complete meaning to the interested parties, to the interested parties. So what do you mean by complete meaning here? If you provide incomplete reporting, what will happen? No complete idea to the interested parties. Let's say sales. For example, look at the board, sales. We take sales. If total sales applicable to the year that we concern is not included here, then there's no completeness. No? When you take sales, sales can be comprised of either credit sales or cash sales. You sell on cash, you sell on credit. Both sales applicable to that period should be included here under sales. If you don't provide complete things there, so completeness is not there. Right? You have included 9 months sales. No. We are looking at a period of 12 months. No. 11.5 months sales. No. You have to consider the whole. The total sales applicable, that period must be included. So that's why it says what? Completeness must be there. Then only complete meaning is brought to the brought to the interested parties. That's why we require to look at the characteristics of completeness. As long as you are protecting this completeness in your financial information, in your financial accounting information, is really good. That's why the Sri Lanka always guiding us, directing us, giving so many standards and other concepts. Anyhow, maintain these qualities. What is the first one? Completeness. Second one is going to be accuracy. Can you see? Write down the second topic or second quality, second characteristic. Okay, what was our topic? Characteristics of accounting information, financial accounting information. Characteristics of financial accounting information. Number one, completeness, I explained to you. Number two, you can say accuracy. So what do you mean by accuracy? Always accounting information, financial accounting information should provide accurate things to the interested parties. Or you can say always accurate accounting, financial accounting information provided to the interested parties. That's the meaning of accuracy. If inaccurate things are there, then people, they don't try to believe this. And maybe their decisions are going to be wrong decisions. Let's say, for example, you are providing wrong information to, let me say, investors. You can have other indirect party, intended investors usually have taken there, but I did not take because it's not necessary. If you provide wrong information to the investors, intended investors who are waiting to come to the market, business world. So if you provide wrong information, they are making wrong decisions. Let's say you are providing inaccurate information, not accurate. For example, let me say, to our organization, there are so many complaints and one person has filed a case asking 50 million compensation. One person has filed a case in a court asking 50 million compensation. I am hiding that information. I hide that, and in the finance statements, I have hidden that whatever loan case or support case asking 50 million compensation, which is so material. I have hidden and I am providing what finance statements now. Reading it, very nice, no, good company, good profit and all that. Okay, better even I can buy shares of that company from the share market. I am an investor, I go and buy. But because you have hidden that unnecessary things, unnecessary means what? Not necessary for the owners, but internal purposes they need it. Not internal investors, no. So therefore, accurate things are not provided there. Your finance statements are inaccurate in that sense. Because you have omitted that important court cases which are affecting to the decision making of the other party. Other party is going to make the decision based on that information. If there are so many court cases in a company, I don't go and buy shares. I am discouraged to buy shares because I am encouraged to go for good companies, no? Blue chip companies. Where share prices are very high and they are earning more profit, huge profit and all that. Okay, but here by listening, if I listen to this 50 million case, I am not going to buy. My decision could have been changed, So that's why very important to provide so much of accurate information. So accuracy is very important. So that's why I told you, you can write down in front of accuracy, you can say the organization, or you can say the accounting entities should provide more accurate information to the interested parties. Accurate information, not inaccurate. For the point. That is the accuracy meaning. Accurate information should be provided. Now, coming relevant here, relevant means that information should be relevant. You can write down the third one, relevant. Another character that you need to protect as far as financial accounting information is concerned. What is relevant here? Remember, relevant means relevant for the financial year. As well as relevant for the entity also. When you take relevant, it must be relevant for the period concerned. Let's say our account period is January 1st, 2023 to 31st December 2023. 12 calendar months. That's my period. So therefore, financial accounting information that are included in finance statements must be relevant for that period. Not should be, must be. From January 1st to 31st December in that year. Otherwise, the quality or the characteristic of relevant is breach. Don't let that to happen. That is chief accountant and staff's responsibility. They are always look at whether this information is relevant or not. For the point, relevant. Because sometimes irrelevant income you include, irrelevant expenditure you include, and the profit or loss is going to be wrong. For example, let me say, we have entered into a contract in relation to sales that will take place in next year. The sales agreement that we have entered will be effective in next year. But as we have entered into an agreement and thereby we have received an advance of some money, that money we have included in the sales, now this year sales, which is what? Irrelevant now. Because we have entered into a sales agreement with another party that will be effective in next year now. It's true we have entered. But merely because entered into an agreement in this year in relation to a sales contract in next year, can you take the advance that you have received this year as an income of this year? No, that is relevant to next year's sales. So if you include by mistake, your past paper, I'm talking about your past paper that was there. If you include what happened, this year income will be overstated, therefore your profit also will be overstated. Because of irrelevant income. Therefore, always please look at relevant. Relevant not in relation to income, but in relation to expenditure as well. I'm just explaining only one aspect. That's a relevant for the period, financial year. On relevant expenditure, relevant income can be brought into finance statements. Irrelevant things are ignored with the help of adjustments. So you'll be learning adjustments and so on and so on. Not now after like 6 months, right? If you continue with me, if you are going to continue with me, you will be learning a lot of adjustments. So very nice presentations and everything is very practical. Now very practical. I will be distributing tools. And coming to this entity-wise, that information that we have included in our finance statement must be relevant to my organization, my entity, not to any other organizations. You got the point? So that's why I'm telling you, entity relevant information also must be there, right? Okay, relevant is very, very important. For example, now I'm telling you, let's say we have a current account in the bank in relation to my current account. Okay. Now I have to show my current account balance in the books of accounts, no? In my books of accounts. Now let's say according to my books of accounts, my bank balance is going to be 50,000. Assume you might have done your O-level carry also, our carry also this subject commerce, no? If you do accounting and business studies for O-level, you know this. 50 million, my bank account balance, according to my books of accounts. But the bank has sent a bank statement now, in relation to the same current account, and it has 180,000 balance, right? It has 180,000 balance. So if you include 180,000 balance in my finance statements, saying bank balance as of this date 180,000, which is what? Irrelevant, no? Because this statement is not ours, it came the bank. My books of accounts shows a balance of 50,000, which must be included in my finance statements, my financial statements. Understand? Relevant. So the 180,000 you brought from somewhere else and imported and you are trying to enter your irrelevant information, finish. Your financial information is wrong. That quality is not there. People, when they get to know, hereafter they will even not look at your finance statement like the open eyes. Throw it away into the dustbin. When I take from this side, you take, other side you put in dustbin. A very terrible case I'm talking about. So you have to be in line with what? Sri Lanka accounting standards. They have directed us very clearly. Lucky enough, no? Otherwise, people will be preparing different ways and finish. Okay, I was talking about the relevancy here. Relevant to our entity. Our entity books of accounts must be considered in preparing finance statement, not that their books of accounts at all. So relevant is very important for the accounting year as well as to the entity aspect. I hope you are getting right. So let me move on to the other one now. What the other one? You can say provability. But before that, for relevant, you can write down a small sentence. You can say this. We can say here, the financial accounting information must be relevant. Continue, please. Financial accounting information must be relevant for the entity, relevant for the entity, as well as relevant for the accounting period concerned, and also relevant for the accounting period concerned. CONCERNED, relevant for the accounting period concerned. Okay, we are concerned means we concern a certain accounting period, no? That period, please. So relevant, very important character we have in CTOP. So shall we look at the fourth one, that is provability, Right on provability, right? So what is provability? we have to have an ability of proving any financial accounting information included in finance statements. For example, let me say purchases. Purchases, let me say like 1.2 million in the finance statements purchases. So there should be source documents or the evidences to prove that last year my purchases were 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Those information provided to the auditors also. Auditor comes and asking, you have shown that 1.2 million purchases in the finance statements. Can I have the source documents? Can I have the purchase invoices, bundle of purchase invoices? So keep on this table, I want to check. So auditor looks into these vouchers and see, this purchase vouchers and see whether the figure given the finance statements are accurate or wrong or inaccurate. Okay, to prove that 1.2 million purchase value is there in the finance statement because of these transactions took place in relation to these vouchers, then that's what auditor says, okay, very good, very nicely you have prepared. You got the point. So that is required what? What is required there to have that kind of a feeling, idea of you have to have evidences. With the evidences, we prove, right? Let's say last year rates and taxes, they say 100,000 rates and taxes. We are paid to municipality, Colombo Municipal Council. Now we have to have the vouchers in relation to payment of what? Rates. Then only we can prove that last year we are paid so much of rates and taxes to the municipal council, which is local authorities. So I hope you are understanding what I am trying to tell you is that always we have to have the source document or the evidences to prove that the finance statements that has been included in the finance statements are true and correct or whatever, accurate, complete. All that is possible to show with the help of evidences. That's why it's a provability you want to maintain. Otherwise, you include so many figures in the finance statement, but you don't have evidences to prove. Finish. Auditor will say, I don't have any ability to say that these figures are correct or wrong because the accountant and the staff, they did not provide me adequate information. That means what? They are not in a position to prove that these sales, these purchases, these expenses are because of these evidences, these are documents. It's going to be a terrible case. So there, if I say you, scope limitation of the auditor. Auditor wants to look at, but his scope is limited, is controlled by the client or the entity. So then we don't express an opinion. So those things are auditing, so we will be learning in university, so professional education. I don't want to bring that advanced students to that area. But remember, very important thing is, here, this probability is very much important. You can say, under probability, a small hyphen and say, the evidences should be maintained. The evidences should be maintained. The evidences should be maintained to enable ENABLE, to enable to prove the financial accounting information. To enable to prove the financial accounting information included in financial statements, included in financial statements. I believe you understand now what is meant by provability. Another one we can say comparability. So what does it mean by comparability? Or what is meant by comparability? Comparability means you see financial information or financial accounting information, including finance statements, okay, should be used to, or there should be an ability to use to compare. You can compare with previous years, or you can compare with another organization. What is this? In case of comparability, you can compare your finance statements with your previous year's finance statement. For example, this year finance statements are compared with last year. 2023 finance statements you compare with 2022 finance statements. That is one thing. The other thing is, remember, you can compare your finance statement with your competitors' finance statements. For example, DSI can compare with Ranpa or Bata or whatever. No, I think no more Bata, no. If there is, then you can compare. Even Bank of Ceylon finance statements can be compared with People's Bank finance statements. You got the point. So comparability is very important. Why? To understand your position. Even let's say you want to understand whether my position today is good or better than the previous year or previous years. You compare this year finance statements with what? Previous year's finance statements. And other thing is, remember, coming to competitors, we have to compare my finance statement with your competitors' finance statements. You got the point. As an example, I can say Bank of Ceylon finance statement for the year 2023 can be compared with the finance statement of People's Bank for the year 2023. Then I can see where I am in the market compared to my competitors. My last year total profit is so much, and what could have been the profit for the same year in case of my competitors. So that's where you compare and you make decisions, you ready for future decision making. All that is happening because of what? Comparability. So comparability you have to protect. What is possible? How it is possible to maintain the comparability? That's why the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, CA Sri Lanka, very well introduce a set of standards, other generally accepted things and all concepts for us to follow. Conceptual framework very clearly introduced for us to follow. Then in preparation of finance statements by People's Bank, they apply the same standard which is applied by the Bank of Ceylon. When all organizations in the same nature business are following the same methods of preparation of finance statements, then it can be compared, or cannot be compared, can be compared, because the bases applied by the Bank of Ceylon are the bases applied by the People's Bank as well. Then comparability is protected. You got the point. Very, very important. Even for other way around, I can argue the accounting policies and the standards, whatever I have applied in preparation of finance statement for this year, already applied for the last year as well, even before last. So comparison is very easy because same basis of accounting we are followed in case of preparing and presentation of finance statements. So therefore, it is easy as well as that is logical or rational, to compare this year finance statements of my company with the last year finance statements of my company, even before the last. So that is the comparability. So comparability I can bring to two sides. Number one is with the previous years I can compare, and other party means I can compare with outside my competitors. So both is possible if you prepare your finance statements in a same basis that you have applied, and what they have applied or what we have applied for this year and what we have applied for last year. I hope you understand the comparability. Okay, who has helped for this? As a part of law, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka, with the help of Accounting and Auditing Standards Act, at number 9 and at number 15 of 1995, very clearly introduced. They have been empowered to introduce accounting standards. So they have introduced so far, by now, LKSs and SLFRSs. So that is comprised of two things: Sri Lanka reporting standards and Sri Lanka accounting standards. So in future there will not be any LKSs. All the LKSs are slowly moving to SLFRSs. So you will learn when you go to exam. You will be learning all in a proper way and go and apply at the examination. But just I wanted to emphasize the comparability is as a result of their involvement. They are properly guided us. Okay. So can you write down on the compare? You can say the financial accounting information. The financial accounting information should be generated and presented. Should be generated and presented in the same manner, applied by the competitors, as well as applied by the entity for the last years or previous years, applied by the entity for the previous years. To enable to compare each other. 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 Right. I hope you complete of writing. If any problems, if you miss any word or something, you can interact with me, right? So while writing, let's say you miss a part of sentence, so one word, whatever, you don't want to again get the video and then play it and see. You just interact with me now. You can say that sentence I did not get, sir, or that idea I did not get. Can you explain once again? So you have the liberty to ask from me. Anytime you can interact with me. I'm happy to see students who are talking to me and all. Then only you are learning. I'm asking even the second day today, I'm asking from you all, try to push me into trouble as much as possible. Meaning the teacher, if you are putting into trouble, you are learning a lot. Ask anything. Okay. So with the subject area, right? Also, I think I can explain to you. I have my capacity adequate enough to answer to your questions. I'm very sure of that. So therefore, don't keep in your mindset and keep quiet. Always be forward, because commerce students always, the accounting subject students always to be very much good presenters, right? Because presentation of finance statements and other information to the stakeholders, interested parties. Okay, in future you will be going meetings and you will have to open your mouth and speak, no? So anyways, presentation is must. So therefore, always interact with me to get clear ideas about all this. That is learning. Otherwise, learning is not just reading a note. Understand? You're right. And you are ready for the exam. Without knowing, you will be pushed to that side. I'm very sure of that. Because I was told by a lot of my past previous students. I was told several times. Okay, so I have finished that area also. What is the area that we have dealt here? What are the qualities that must be protected with financial accounting information in order to do a better service to whom? To the stakeholders, interested parties who expect this, who rely or who are using the financial accounting information that we are producing or we are generating. So that's the area that we have discussed and we have finished it off. Examiner can check these areas. So he'll be looking at the past papers in future. Examiner can check. Okay, can be tested under MCQ also. Okay, under the characteristics of financial accounting information, right? Okay, so that area we have finished it off. I can remember, it comes to my mind said that once it was studying about the past papers, very old days, asking, because all days papers are very much good. The present paper setters, they are looking at this. I have observed it. They checked some sort of thing like this. They were asking whether the accounting is a important subject for the society. For society in the sense, what kind of a service is done by accounting for the society, is concerned as a whole. Or what is the importance of accounting as a very important activity which does a good service to the society. So actually, why this accounting is very important to the society? Because investors of most of the organizations, not almost all the organizations, are going to be part of the society. No, investors are going to be part of the society. And the important things. When the investors are going to be part of the society, if accounting can do some sort of an important role to the stakeholders into the party, that is we are protecting the society as well. Because innocent investors, they don't know anything, they are extra money, excess money, they put into investment. Let's say they buy shares of a company. When they buy shares of a company with their excess money, innocent money actually, if they don't have an accounting idea and all that, it is duty of the subject to prepare financial statements and produce to them, enable them to see the profit of that company, what happened to your investment, so on and so on and so on. Got the point? So if you prepare incorrectly, without protecting all these qualities, comparability, completeness, then accuracy, relevant, all that, if you have violated breach and prepares of financial, you are doing a harmful thing to the society. So that's why financial accounting, this subject actually, does an important role in the society because they are preparing their statements, are protecting what? Faithful representation, which is given in the what? Conceptual framework of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka. Faithful representation, what is faith? It is presented in a way that other party can believe it. Believable way is known as what? Faithful representation. Okay, so you are providing your financial accounting information to the interested parties in a faithful representation manner by protecting that. As long as these qualities are protected, that will happen automatically. So therefore, actually accounting does an important role, invaluable service to the society, because as you are providing that service to the investors, investors are going to be part of this society. Therefore, at last what is happening? Accounting is a subject which is given a very good service to the society. You got the point, right? You can write down one sentence over there. As long as the above qualities, I'm giving one sentence which is important for your life. I don't know for exam. As long as the above qualities are protected, in financial accounting information provided. Financial accounting information provided in the financial statements. Comma. It is a great help, it's a great help to the investors. It's a great help to the investors. To understand the position of their investment. Position of their investment. Full stop and continue. As the investors are part of the society, accounting does an invaluable service. Accounting does an invaluable service to the society as a whole. Invaluable service to the society as a whole. Right. Why did I give you that sentence? Because we have to focus not exactly the exam. The oral understanding of subject is also very important. Somebody can ask from you, why this subject, I heard that you were learning, but why this is now? You look at these doctors and they are doing, doctors, they are serving that type of a thing. Teachers, profession, they are doing this thing. What these accountants, what they do and what is this subject? Can be come and ask from you, to push you into the trouble. Don't, you better go into trouble. You better respond to them saying that, look here, my dear, accounting is that sort of a subject which generates information, protecting these qualities and all that. Enable the innocent investors of the society can understand their position in relation to their investments. Then they may invest sometimes in future more and more, or maybe they will do something whatever they want. They make decisions for that purpose. Accounting provides more information accurately, completely, relevant way, and comparability is there. All that is protected. So therefore, accounting does very, very important role to the society as a whole. And how this is protected with the help of the directions given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. So being the professional accounting body in Sri Lanka, they have directed us to go on the correct path. So that way you need to explain to others. Don't keep quiet. All right. Right. Now, the other very important thing is, in accounting, what is happening? I'm telling basic things now, some sort of, before moving to next lesson. That is going to be, remember, accounting is measuring the limited resources. Okay. And also controlling the limited resources. So I would like to draw your attention to these two words. What are these two words? These two words are going to be, right? Accounting does what? Measuring. Measure and control. Measuring and controlling what? Limited resources. Limited resources. By what? By this subject. Okay, measuring and control. How do I say so? Now you go to market and try to buy a motor vehicle which has been measured in terms of rupee value. You pay the cash and buy the motor vehicle. You come and record in the books of accounts. So therefore, it has been measured in terms of rupee value. Measure in accounting, things are measured in terms of cash, rupee value. And you take that money to books of accounts. And when you record it, in that point, from that point onwards, that is control. If you don't record in books of accounts, no control, no control. That's why automatically accounting is a very good controlling mechanism over what? Towards what? Monetary measurable transaction events. Maybe you might have not thought about these things, no? So even just now I thought of telling it to you. Okay. The accounting, remember, is control, measuring and controlling limited resources automatically with their systems. If you don't measure, you can't record. You have to measure it anyhow. Then once you record it, automatically control. Why I am bothering so much? Limited resources of innocent persons. My money or your money or your whatever, whoever's money. When you put into a business and start a business, if you don't record and if you don't measure it, what? You can't see where you are going, where you are now and all that. Impossible to measure it up. Then what is this? Why we are having this subject? Better to close down all these, whatever, Zoom or whatever, collect, finish it off. We can finish, we can stop the talking of this subject also from today onwards. No point, no. So we are loving this subject. We are living with this subject because very nice manner, limited resources are controlled, measured and controlled. Even you have not thought, even I have not thought. Now I start off thinking about this. Very nice subject. Right? Now I am so happy about this. You got the point. So remember both measuring and controlling. You can say, if you want to take example, aesthetic can say, accounting, you write down please, accounting, that's how knowledge is gathered. Accounting is measuring and controlling. You can go to ing form. Accounting is measuring and controlling limited resources of investors with the help of accounting process. With the help of accounting process. With the help of accounting process. Right? With the help of accounting process. So maybe you are wondering why I have brought to you into that point. You can underline the word accounting process. Underline the word accounting process. Clear? So remember, I am moving to that area now. Having said all these other explanations, having done all in other areas, I am moving to what? Accounting process. So how that important with the accounting process? What we are doing? We are measuring and controlling all limited resources. Clear? Right? Okay, so now I am going to say goodbye to that area, information area. We have done a lot. Important area, right? More and more information will be dealt, will be taken up with you all with the conceptual framework tutorial. So with that handout, we will be able to discuss more and more things there. For the time being, more than enough. Now, I would like to move on to the new subject, new topic today. That is going to be accounting process. I asked you to write down, underline the wording in the previous sentence, accounting process. Accounting process. Accounting is a process, remember please. This is not a mere one activity, right? Accounting is a process. Accounting is a process. In each and every process, what is happening, remember, any process if you look at, don't think about the accounting process, we'll take it up later. I will take it up later, but for that, think about other process. You would have seen over the TV, in some process, from one side, animals are entered into the process. From other side, after certain process, you will be getting ham, bacon, cheese, and all that is on the other side, no? You see, up to that extent, in each and every process, we have input, we have a process inside, and we have output, right? So any process, if you look at, we have input, we have process here, right? And we have output here, right? Input, process, and output. Other thing is, now think about our digestive process now. I am eating something, so inside the body, some sort of process is happening. And then there I am getting the strength of teaching subject, you know. I am teaching you, taking all gut feelings and all that is maintaining all files in my brain capacity. Now I am tracing with whatever the required file I am opening quickly, and I am teaching you because I have stored that strength in my body after the digestion process. You got the point. So foods are entered here from the mouth, some sort of process, and energy is going to be what? My output. You got the point. So therefore, I am trying to always tell you which what here. Okay, what is telling it to you is that remember, okay, in any process, forget about the accounting process. Don't look at this. We'll take it up later. Any process, if you look at, we have input, we have process, and we have output. I got two examples in order to explain you what is happening in the process. You got the point. So likewise, if you look at accounting, accounting is also a process. Accounting is also a process. In accounting, we have accounting inputs, we have a certain process inside, and we have an output at the end of the day. Okay, you got the point. So that sort of a process is there. So I don't think, my dear students, now sons and daughters, the accounting process can be explained now because it takes time, more time to explain new things, right? But no problem, we have come to the end of the class today. But what I must tell you is you are supposed to attend classes regularly. It's very, very important. And maybe by next day, we can finish this theory boring area that you are listening and writing and all that. So after next year, since fourth day, I believe we'll be able to work out sums. I am very sure of that. Okay. So with my next presentation relation to accounting process, I will show you the syllabus. But we are going to talk and what is going to be my future way of getting topics one by one. And then there you get the tunes, and then we both can a very friendly manner, actively, interactively, both ways, we can work out the sums and improve the knowledge. Enable you to maintain your marks in your school term test. Still, I know you'll have freely go moving here and there. Still, you have not thought of following what area. Maybe still you are deciding whether to follow max stream, bio, or this whatever. Now, still maybe you are joining and seeing what is happening and all. But no problem. In few months of time, you will come to the track and then you will be continuing now. So anyway, my videos are available to you always in the YouTube and the Facebook. You all can listen to my videos in the Facebook and whatever YouTube, and then you can understand whether any value addition is there or not. Then if no value addition, don't join. So that liberty is up to you, and you can share it with your parents also what is happening and all. Okay, so let me wind up the class. Next day, I'll be dealing with accounting process, very interesting area. And of course, that is the starting point of the subject. If I simply tell you that we are moving to working out sums area, with that lesson we will be starting. And we'll have a business studies lecture. Business studies lecture will be started sharp at 11 o'clock. Mr. Manoj Arachige sir will that Manoj sir will start that sharp at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to wind up the class by with this point, and hopefully you will be meeting for the next lecture as well, sharp at 11 o'clock. So thank you very much for joining. So hopefully meeting with my next lecture. I wish you a very pleasant day. and very pleasant Christmas also to you all. Happy Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas to you all. Right? Okay. Thank you all. Goodbye.